Immigration experts sounding the alarm over how Ottawa's retooled border bill could change how Canada welcomes newcomers.
Then we felt that essentially putting forward a second bill that carves out the more contentious elements of Bill C-2 will enable us to get swifter passage of the bill.
Okay, so that is the Public Safety Minister introducing Bill C-12 in the House of Commons last week. The bill does not include new powers for law enforcement that civil liberties groups objected to, but it does include controversial changes to Canada's immigration system. So for more on the concerns, we're joined again in studio by Chantal Deloge. She's an immigration and refugee lawyer at the Canadian Immigration Lawyers Association. Good to have you back.
Thank you.
So the contention around this bill was around, this conflict between civil liberties and, people who are concerned with newcomers' rights. The civil liberties portion has been appeased. This looks like it's going to pass. It will allow Cabinet to cancel several immigration documents if the government believes it is, quote, in the public interest to do so. What does that mean?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, when the government says the only criterion is that it's in the public interest, every lawyer knows that that's code for whatever the government wants it to mean at that time. And I think, honestly, every Canadian should be concerned about this bill, even if they think that immigration doesn't impact their life directly, because this untrammeled discretion that they're trying to give themselves with no checks and balances whatsoever to cancel entire categories of not only applications of people who've applied in good faith and are complying with the rules, but even people who have already been issued permits. They can be canceled retroactively under this new law, even if people qualified under the law. So this has nothing to do with illegal immigrants, and in fact has nothing to do with border security, which they're kind of giving it this title of border security. It's nothing to do with that.
The Trudeau government was criticized for increasing the immigration allowance into this country. They admitted in their own words that they had made a mistake. They changed the numbers, they changed the requirements. Is this trying to fix a problem that they feel like they created?
Yes, that's 100% what it is in my view. They realized that there were way too many people let in way too short of a time, and now they're trying to furiously backpedal. But the problem is they're now trying to take procedural rights away from people who are fully in compliance with the law. This is not the fault of applicants. This is them trying to backtrack and fix a mistake that was made, but I feel like they're making another mistake again. They're adding insult to injury.
One of the reasons it's important to have these conversations, there's a narrative out there right now that, immigration was bad for Canada. It's taking things away from people who are in this country. And it's hard to get people to care about immigration if either you're not an immigrant or it doesn't affect you directly. But you're saying every Canadian should be concerned for a number of reasons. This bill would ban refugees from Immigration and Refugee Board hearings if they don't apply for asylum within a year of entering Canada. How does that change the process of seeking asylum in Canada, and is that not a good thing?
Yeah, no, it's absolutely not a good thing, because the way it's worded is it's within 1 year of the first entry to Canada. Let me give you an example to illustrate. So the war in Ukraine broke out, I guess, February 2022. Okay, suppose I was a Ukrainian citizen who visited Canada 10 years ago before the war started. And I visited Canada, I went to see Niagara Falls, and then I went home again. Why should that then bar me in February 2022 from making a refugee claim now that the situation has completely changed? I mean, what does my entry to Canada more than a year ago have to do with what's going on in my country of origin right now? It's completely arbitrary.
Data from Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship Canada shows that the extent of the backlog, we've done lots of stories. This story has made headlines before. This is the backlog of the permanent resident application system. And the wait time for PR under Canada's, quote, humanitarian and compassionate stream ranges from 1 to 50 years. Some experts are warning the government could use this bill and its new powers to cancel applications to clear up this backlog. Is that a real concern?
That is a real concern, because if you read the law the way it's written now, nothing would stop them from actually doing that. And, yesterday I saw that the government had issued a statement saying, oh, look, we're not going to be unreasonable. Obviously, we're going to, have reasons for doing it, and we'll, it's not going to be an untrammeled discretion. But in fact, in the law, that's exactly what it is. They're giving themselves that broad discretion. And I don't think, especially in today's environment, I think we can see what's happening in the world. It's important that the law has safeguards on it to avoid it being abused in the future.
All right, Chantal, that is all the time that we have now, but lots more to discuss as this moves forward. Immigration and refugee lawyer at the Canadian Immigration Lawyers Association. Chantal, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.
A note to this, we did reach out to the Office of the Minister of Public Safety, and we did not receive a direct response in time for this segment.
If you like that video, make sure to subscribe to the Your Morning YouTube feed, where you can find all kinds of new content posted every weekday morning.